Now, the first study in which he will be depicting his idea of culture materialism is an idea about race and racism, that is patterns of race in Americas. So what is this idea? He says that ki race या racism का जो idea है, it's not some kind of a psychological thought, or it's not something, the consciousness that has shaped our behavior or shaped our relationship between, or shaped the relationship between blacks and white. Thought nahi tha wo. But this race and racism actually developed because of the economic condition, or the mode of production shaped up the idea of race and racism. कैसे ये हुआ? बोला कि this idea of race actually developed with the rise of capitalism or industrial revolution, and now setting up these industries or colonizing capitalism की वजह से और imperialism की वजह से, what was happening, that they required laborers for the factories, they required laborers for the plantations. अब लेबर की जरूरत थी, which is cheap. अब दो ऑप्शन थे. One option was to have the laborers from their own country. ठीक है, अपने ही देश के लोगों को लेबर बना लिया. But if they do so, there will be a revolt in the country. People will be revolting. Or factories were not that safe. You must have heard about the accidents that used to happen in the factory, in which a man will be gone, पूरा का पूरा machine में चला गया, उसकी death हो गई, या उसका हाथ कट गया, so and so forth. So if such kind of incidences happens with their own people, they will not support this kind of political ideology. They will not support this kind of mode of production. Okay, so they required the laborers who are cheap, as well as can be hired and fired at will. That means कि जब boom time हो, economic prosperous हो, in that time they can be hired. While when there is a downfall, when there is a time of recession, they can be fired. अब ये सब अपने देश वालों के साथ करते तो दिक्कत हो जाती. So that's why they required these kind of labors, and this will actually create the idea of race. That is, they divided the entire population of the world into different biological categories. These are Caucasoids, these are Negroids, these are Mongoloids, these are so and so forth. And then they justify this biological criteria, saying that Negroids are less developed, they are less intelligent, and hence are suitable for the manual labor job. Okay, so यहाँ से race और racism का beginning होती है. So that means this mode of production actually creates a particular kind of structure, that is, the Negroes placed at the lower level as compared to the Caucasoids or the whites, and that will be justified with a superstructural belief that racism is scientific. Race ideology is scientific. Okay, so let me tell you that when we'll be reading race and racism in physical anthropology, there was a disease called as drapetomania. Okay, which blacks means ऐसा माना जाता था कि blacks used to suffer from this disease. That is, this disease is called as drapetomania. Now, what does this disease actually mean? That is, when a black man refuses to work for the white, or when he becomes lazy, he does not want to work in the field or in the plantation, he is suffering from a disease called as drapetomania. This was followed by multiple doctors at that point of time. कि इसको drapetomania की बीमारी हो गई. And the treatment of this disease was whipping the lashes on the black man. उसको चाबुक से मारो, ये बीमारी सही हो जाएगी. This is how the scientific ideas were created at that point of time. Just understand the point that it was the economic condition at that time that required cheap labor who can be hired and fired at will, that was used to create a kind of structure, social organization in which the blacks were placed at the lower level as compared to the whites, and also justifying this social organization with a particular belief that it is scientific. ये कम developed हैं, ये कम intelligent हैं, they will not be able to do anything good even if given equal opportunities. ठीक है. Darwin also talks about this. Darwin gave the idea. If you remember, survival of the fittest, कभी सुना होगा आपने. So Darwin says that this intelligence is also a result of natural selection. More intelligent species have been created, and कई सारी societies में people जो whites हैं, definitely they are more intelligent than the blacks. Although he did not justify any kind of discrimination, उन्होंने बोला कि whites are definitely more intelligent than the blacks, और उन्होंने scientific proof दिया है अपनी book Origin of Species में. That is in the book in which he gave his evolutionary theory. Intelligence is a matter of natural selection. So he quoted all these things which suggested that race is not something, a belief or an ideology that came up out of the blue, or racism, but it has an economic basis. As the country started to industrialize, they required the labor that can be hired and fired at will. And that would be creating a structure and which will be justified by a particular type of superstructural belief system. Are you getting this idea? Yes or no? Okay. In the same way, he talks about that why consumption of pigs in certain society or in certain religion is prohibited.